So we're gonna cut up some green peppers. So here we are, family. We're gonna cut some julienne style, red pepper, green pepper, carrots, onions, and some cabbage. And we're also having some bok choy, right? And we're gonna mix all of that in. So I'm getting all my veggies prepped, and then we're gonna talk about what we're doing. Now we're cutting this julienne, as I said. Julienne just means that instead of dicing it, you're cutting it into a longula, if you want to call it longula, or long pieces, right? There we go. There it is. So in long pieces. So we just sort of cut that in half and go through the process as the onion is designed, and cut it as it's designed. You'll find that the perfect pieces. So that's what we're going to be doing, along with the carrots and the cabbage. Now, because I'm using veggies and not meat, I'm going to then turn around and just sort of grate about 2 tablespoons of ginger. And that way it dissolves into the veggies and not necessarily you biting into some chunks today. So we're going to do that. Get about 2 tablespoons of fresh ginger. And we're going to mix it in with some soy sauce, a little 1/4 cup of brown sugar, some cornstarch, some water to give it some body. Actually, I'm not going to use no water. Some cornstarch and some soy sauce to give the stir fry a little body. And we're going to do that. Not adding no water into it, just sort of using the soy sauce to dissolve the cornstarch, and that's what we're going to do. So all of this come together, we're going to end up having a beautiful, healthy, tasty, healthy, tasty, gluten-free, vegan, and a vegetarian option. I'm telling you. And people going to say, well, oh, you're using starch. No, I'm using cornstarch. Cornstarch is actually gluten-free. Just a bit of knowledge for you. Here we are, family, my 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Then I have my soy sauce in with my cornstarch, and I'm gonna mix that until it completely thins, no clumps, no clumps. Get it nicely dissolved. And if you don't have a whisk, a fork. So here we are, family. Since I have already have my pan nice and hot, I'm going to put in maybe about 3 tablespoons of oil. Don't want to use a lot because, as we said, it's going to be vegetables, right? Now, our carrots takes a little longer to cook than my bok choy and my cabbage. So I'm going to put those items in, saute them a little bit before I start adding my bok choy and my cabbage. Family, on a medium heat, I'm dropping my carrots in. Just sort of get it nice and tossed around, soften it just a little bit. Put my onions in. I still want my onions to have somewhat of a crunch, so I'm dropping that in there. My bell peppers, they too will soften up a little, so I want to make sure that when it's all done, your stir fry has such a beautiful look of a crunchy but yet cooked texture. So we're going to let that sort of saute for a few minutes. Now I've already had my bok choy pre-cut, and so we're going to add that just after this veggie is somewhat tenderized, right? And then we're going to add in our seasoning and just sort of wait for the magic. Cover my carrots just to allow it to tenderize even faster. This whole meal should take roughly 15 minutes tops. 15 minutes, and then we are rock and rolling. All right, so that's what we're doing. Leaving that for a few minutes just to tenderize the carrots a little bit. And then I'm going to add in my soy sauce, my everything, my seasoning, my soy sauce, and just let this veggie do what it does. Here we go, family. Here I go. So none of my carrot is somewhat tenderized, and I've already had my bok choy. I had some bok choy that I had pre-cut and frozen. I'm going to use all of that. Those are my veggies of which I had cut up. Didn't need all of that, so I freeze it, save it, and I'm going to do just this. Now with that, I'm then going to add my brown sugar, baby. We add that brown sugar in there. I'm going to drop the cabbage in. Now, the cabbage, the brown sugar is going to dissolve because the cabbage generates its own liquid, right? The bok choy also, frozen or not, tend to generate its own liquid. So this is why we're not going to use any form of water. We're just going to let the vegetable do its own thing, right? We have some hot pepper in there. We have all of that mixture just going on in there. We're going to drop them in, drop them all in. Now today we're going to eyeball, right? We're going to drop some seasoning in, about 2 tablespoons of the all-purpose seasoning. I'm not using any salt, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to use about a half a tablespoon of the black pepper, 1 tablespoon of the garlic. As I said, we're eyeballing it. You're cooking to your own flavor at this point with veggies. And now, here's where we go start having some fun. I'm going to drop. Now we're cooking this, guys, at a medium heat. I'm going to drop my green and my red pepper, right? All in there. My ginger. Sprinkle it all in there. Right? We're going to drop them all in. Look at all them colors. Look how beautiful that is. Trust me, when you do this, you're not going to even think that you're having a total vegetarian option, right? Look at all of that. Look at all of those beautiful blend of colors. Not to mention the texture, because you're having the green pepper, the carrot, all of that, right? And then the sugar is already dissolved. And as I said, we're cooking this where we want to have the crunch. We don't want to lose that crunch factor, right? And you're seeing how all of this is already coming to play. That ginger is already finding its home where it wants to find its home. Now, remember that cornstarch? Remember that cornstarch and the soy sauce? Look at this. There. And we're just sort of going to let this sort of go through and simmer. I'm going to cover it a little bit just to allow the steam to generate. Then I'm going to let it loose. Family, the aroma that is coming up from this pot, you think you're in a great Chinese restaurant. Look at that. Look at that, fam. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about, right? So we're just going to let it sort of simmer just a little bit, because now all our veggies are the perfect texture, right? Look at this. That's what I'm talking about. Allowing the freshness. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people think when you buy, as I said before in one of my videos, I like buying my vegetables in season, and I take what I need from it and I cut the rest up and I sort of place it in the freezer in a Ziploc bag. What that does is it stays fresh. It stays fresh, believe it or not. And you use it to your own leisure. Whether it's in season or not, you have it to your own leisure, right? But that's what we're looking at. Look at this. I'm telling you. And then the juice that's on the hair is going to awaken. It is going to wake up the quinoa. Huh? Look at that. 10 minutes later, all said, all done. Perfect. Look at this. Look at this carrot. There we go, family. Here it is. Here it is. Stir-fried veggie quinoa. Gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, all in one. What me say? Like, share, subscribe. Auntie P, Restaurant Ayard. Turn up with it. Turn up with it. Look at it. Can you see it? Ah, all of those rich colors come to play. Look at it. Chinese ain't got nothing on me.